Since I grew my business almost 100% through posting content on LinkedIn, I get asked a lot how I manage and schedule everything out myself. And the answer to that is Notion, but not in the way that you might think. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Andy, founder of MMG Design in Columbus, Ohio. When it comes to content, I post every single day on LinkedIn, every week on YouTube. I've ran a podcast weekly for almost 2 years straight. And I also post 3 times a week on Instagram and Facebook. And I know that may sound like a lot, but I've actually managed to do everything myself for a full year until I finally started outsourcing some of the manual posting work just recently. Now, if you are anything like me, you watched Notion tutorials when you first got started, you're trying to manage content, and you never stuck with any of the tutorials that you watched or the templates that you bought. Either the templates were just too fancy for you, or you just couldn't get into using them and couldn't build the habit. But don't worry, because I was 100% the same way. And I'm a firm believer that if you're going to stick to a Notion template, you kind of have to know how it works, set it up yourself, be really familiar, and also set up systems to implement it into your daily routine and make it low friction to access. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I manage content using just 2 simple pages. That's it. One of these pages is for idea capture, and the other one is for what I call Backstage Prep. I'll show you the simple and low friction way to build both of these pages. So we're going to break this video into 2 parts. One is going to be a little quick backstage tour of how I currently manage on my own. And stage 2 is going to be the actual setup and teaching you how to do it on your own. We're going to keep it at the very base version, simple, streamlined for you to get set up. Okay, so this is my Notion content planner. And like I said, it may look complex to start out with, but I promise you it's actually quite simple. So all these views are optional. And what I do, and if you guys don't know or need a Notion, Notion lets you set up databases and then assign them to different views and statuses and so forth. So I choose for the Backstage Prep one, which is the one I'm looking at now. This is not the idea capture one. We'll get into that after this. And the reason I'm starting with this one, you'll see why in a minute. But the calendar view really just is what helps me kind of organize and see everything. I'm very big on attaching the specific content that's going out to a day in the week. And, this just really helps to do that and makes it a low friction. And you can add for the day that I want and get directly into creating from there. So the first thing that I've set up, and this is not going to be within the scope of this video, but I've also set up these templates for all the platforms that I'm currently present on. And that does help to streamline things. But to get started, what we're going to do is say, okay, I'm planning for this week ahead. So the 24th through the 28th. Right now for Monday, I know I need to add a LinkedIn post. So I'm going to add this. And when I go in and add that, I have all my hashtags. I have everything set up for the platform specifically. And then that post lives there. If I need to go to Tuesday, I need to add a podcast because that's where we upload our podcast every Tuesday. And from that template, I have all the assets that I need for that week. The name, the title, description and show notes, thumbnail, video. This is where we upload our drive file where other team members can see it. And we also configure everything from the beginning. So we can add additional assets to this file link up here. This is where we link it to our other database that we're going to talk about, our content garden. The platform, we tag it. So this would be a podcast post. The status, so this is a big one too that we start at. Everything starts in the idea status. And then once we finish, we can see everything lives there. We can check it off once it is finished. So those are the very simple high-level view of the Backstage Prep. We usually write our description and thumbnails, or description and copy of the post right below here, so that when we go and post, say this is caption of the LinkedIn post, we basically just have everything here ready to go, copy it, and then keep source formatting, Command-C, and then when we head into Notion, we head into LinkedIn rather, we can go in and post that straight away. So this is where everything goes before it gets posted. And this is the Backstage Prep database and page. The second page is a lot more simple, and this is something that we're going to set up as well. This is the ideation capture piece. So I call this my content garden. I know, super cute, but basically what we do, I have everything in a table format view. So what you can do in these is this is where if I have an idea, I just store everything about the idea in this database right here. So for example, here's one of them, YouTube shout out post 100 subscribers. And then I'll go in and tag the idea every idea lives in a page, and I'll store all the assets from that idea I found, whether I'm on LinkedIn and I see a post that I like, or I'm just going throughout my day and I think, okay, that could be a good idea for a LinkedIn post. I name it with what the tag could be, what platforms and everything it could go on with a bunch of tags. And this will make it easier to search through if you are looking for ideas. A link to the post that I can see if I came from another platform. And this is the big part for me, is the linked databases feature. So I can choose to link this to a existing post that I have in LinkedIn on the other database that we just talked about, right? So say if I was on LinkedIn and I want this post to be about the YouTube shout out. Okay, so to get it set up, what I like to do when I add a new page is, this is what my dashboard looks like in Notion. This is where I store all my most used pages. But if you're new to Notion, we're going to keep it very simple. I would just go to your left and add a page so that you can always see it in your sidebar. Start a new page and name it content. And you can get super fancy naming it with all of these things, adding your custom emojis, your covers. And trust me, I go down a ton of rabbit holes with doing this myself. But for the sake of this video, we're going to keep it pretty simple. So you're going to make two databases, like I said. So to create a database, you're going to hit slash and database and make both of these full page. I would really encourage you. And then if you want to have like a master view, you can view both of them, again, outside of the scope. We're going to make both of these inline to start with. I know I just said page. We're going to make both of these inline to start with so we can manage everything on one page. So we're going to go database inline and name this content library. And keep in mind too, we can change these to be full databases later, but for now, we're going to keep everything streamlined. Content garden. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this full width so that I can read a little bit better. We're going to change this table view to garden table. Boom. So this will be ideation right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to click new, and we're going to start adding our properties. So the most simple properties that you can add are tags, which are these multi-select features. You're going to click multi-collect. Going to hit tags, enter that, add another property, link. So this is technically named a URL. So if we're browsing for inspiration, we can find content links that are helpful. We can drop them into here as well. Link, and I'll change this to be renamed link to post. The third one is going to be date. So this is going to be the published date that you have the post on, just so you can create it on. Or you could also make it the created date to know like when you had the idea. But having some kind of a date on there, I found to be really helpful. And you can order these vertically, whichever way you choose. You can add another one for a checkbox to see if it's published. And the last one I like to add is a status icon. So you can customize these statuses if you want. So the first status I would add is an idea, and you categorize these from which stage they are in the ideation progress. So idea, editing would be our one in progress, and then done would be posted, like so. So have those three statuses set up, and you can start to make ideas. So idea one, boom, that's one idea. Another idea, you just hit new, idea two, boom. Now we have stuff ready to go. Say I'm scrolling, say I am doom scrolling on LinkedIn, which I never do, by the way, and I find a post that I like, say from Allison, who was a big inspiration for me being consistent here on LinkedIn. Say I have a post of hers that I come across and resonate with. So connecting off platform on LinkedIn, say, boom, I really like the content of this post. I'm going to copy the link to it, head back to my dashboard, make a new idea, say connecting platform, Allison. Here I would add the link to that post. I would add tags, LinkedIn, networking, boom. And this comes in really helpful, these tag features, for when you have different platforms that you're on, but also you have content pillars established. You can really get better at linking your content topics of each specific post back to your bigger content categories. So my content pillars are thought leadership, so sharing expertise on marketing, networking, and business growth, and also sharing my own work. So those are the three things that I'm trying to hit on every single week. And you do that through different conversion posts and different formats that really emphasize the quality of each one. So that's what we do for all of our clients, and that's what we also do practice internally because we drink our own medicine. So Let's say I have a published date that I want to go out on. I would like that to go out on Monday. So I'm going to tag that there. It's not published and it's still in the idea phase. I'm going to add the caption here just for example's sake. Okay, so now that we have our ideas database and we have a fresh idea ready to go, we're going to go down a little bit. We're going to add another database, and this one is going to be inline, and this one is going to be our Backstage Prep as so. And this one we're going to change to a different view. So you're going to click into the view, hit edit view. You're going to go to this tab that says layout, and you're going to change it to a calendar, just like so. And now you can already see we're rocking and rolling with a better calendar view as we go. And this makes it a lot easier to manage. So now that we have this set up, how do we tag all the features appropriately so that we have everything we need? If you guys remember what I showed you, I kept it pretty simple. So we set up templates for each different platform. And that's going to be outside of the scope of this video. But if you have your different platforms, I highly recommend going in and setting up a template for each specific post platform that you're on, because there are commonalities of the different assets that you'll need for each post depending on the platform that you're on. So what I'll do is I'll just start simple and say this is a template that goes into Backstage Prep. And this will be named LinkedIn, and I could add LinkedIn default. So caption, and then if you guys have a consistent call to action that you use, I recommend having it here. If you use hashtags, I don't recommend using hashtags on LinkedIn because I don't think they're very trendy right now, but we don't use them with our clients either. But I would recommend, just having different post types, and then you can add an icon. So for sake of recognition, in the tutorial, I'll just use a custom icon here, upload this LinkedIn image, boom, and then keep that as it is so that we can recognize that template when we make a post. So now that we have our LinkedIn content, we got our LinkedIn post. If you're using this library and this management system just for LinkedIn, what we can do is set as default also for all views in Backstage Prep as so, and click for all views. And then that way we have our LinkedIn template ready to go. But now we're going to start configuring our properties for this. And I'm going to rename this view as I have it set up right here. So master calendar. And this is where the magic syncing happens as we start to add properties. So we're going to add a property here, and we're going to actually go back and do this in the template settings. So we're going to edit our template and start to add properties here. So what you're going to want to make sure you have here is a related database. This is the most important one. So you're going to click relation, this property right here, and you're going to link it to the Backstage Prep. And we're going to link it to the Content Garden database that we just built. Boom. And you're going to hit no limit, and you're going to hit two-way relation also. And you're going to leave this the same. Just leave this blank right here. Hit created, and boom. You're going to link it to the post that you have in Content Garden every time this comes up. And that's how you sync the two databases. Again, very simple. The next thing you're going to add is all the other properties that you had. So you can have all the statuses go in. You can add the tags similar as we did to the Content Garden database. You can add the date that you are going to publish it on. Boom. You can also add another tags category for your content pillars like we talked about. And a big thing I always add is status, just to keep everything aligned. And the last one I always like to have is a link to any additional assets we might need. We use Google Drive for everything, so that's where we'll put in that link right there. I like to keep the Content Garden at the top, and boom, we are all set to rock and roll on our template. You can have it repeat. I don't recommend doing this to start, but going in and adding these manually. But you have our template set up now, and this is how we're going to do everything for LinkedIn. Now, I like to have each post populate and show a database and show all the properties that are on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here, and we're going to go, like when you're viewing it, you can see all the characteristics of each post. So what I'm going to do is go to properties and go to the ones that I want to show. So I want to go to the name I want shown, the Content Garden reference I want shown, the status I want shown, and the tags I want shown as well. And I'm also going to add one more property to each of these posts, which is going to be the checkbox. And that is it, guys. I know that was very simple. That was very quick and streamlined. My goal with this was to very much just show you what we're doing and how you can use it to empower your own content creation. Because like I said, when I first started, there's a lot of templates out there. There's a lot of noise, and there's a lot of confusion with using Notion, but I'm huge on the belief that if you can set up a streamlined system for yourself and actually know how it works, then it's a lot easier to get started with it and hit the ground running. The last thing I want to show you guys is the quick hack that I use to capture content a lot easier using the ideation that makes content ideation a lot easier for me, and that is using the widgets app on my phone. So what I'll do is I have a dedicated widget for the content garden database, and I'll actually go in and click on that and then add a page right away from the home screen on my iPhone. Makes it a lot simpler to do this. And my experience, the mobile version of Notion is not good for the robust views, like the content for like the calendar and everything like that, and really getting into the thorough depth of getting content ready, or just using it in general. So, but for quick wins and for quick idea capture, it's really easy to just hit new page and then get the idea down so that when you're out and about, you have it stored in another place. So that's a little bonus hack if you want to go the extra mile and set that up for yourself.